Hi, welcome to Soul Food Ministries and Outreach. I'm Henriette Hobson. Thank you for tuning in. Welcome to the focus of this channel, which is No More Jim Crow. We are not going back. This channel has been set up for ministry, educational purposes, and my First Amendment right to speak. And just there's going to be some things that are alleged. So just trying to cover my disclaimer there. Educational purposes, what have you. So, we are not a racist group ministry here. I don't have any racism in me. I may not like what some person does of a particular, what we call color, white, black, in between, all in between. I'll call evil out no matter what color it happens through. But there's no hate, racial hate here. So don't even bother to send any, comments about that, because it's not what that's about. This is about the love of Jesus is here. He died for everyone. Now, and the main focus is to bring people to Jesus. It really is to dispel the misrepresentations of and correct the misrepresentation of Jesus being this God that sits and waits for you to do something wrong so he can punish you. That does punish you to bring you to your senses or whatever, or that he's a white God. He's been painted white and dispersed throughout thousands of years, and lied on that he thinks black people are less than whites, and that he thinks slavery is okay. And that's all a lie. All these things are lies. He's not a white God, nor does he think those things about black people. So I want to, he wants to bring black people back to him. Now he wants everyone. This channel is particularly set for black Americans. But because of this misrepresentation, a lot of black people have said, I don't want that God. Why would I want to be with a God that hates me and that thinks that way of me? And the representation that they were given, we have been given, that has gone down generations, and they're still trying to rely on Jesus. So there we are. He wants everyone to come to him. He wants to save. He came to save the lost. And whether you think it's real or not real or what have you, let me tell you something. It is. And the way you receive this is by faith, by choice. But regardless of what you think about what this Bible says and what Jesus came and did, it doesn't stop it from being a reality, being the truth. You can't stop what he's already set in motion. You can don't believe there's a God. That doesn't mean there isn't one. And it doesn't mean that Jesus isn't him. He's representing the Father. And the Holy Spirit is here now as the Father and Jesus, representing the Spirit of God. And whether we accept him or not, that's our bad. You miss out on having such an amazing life. And I know you think, well, my life is not so amazing. I'm homeless, or I'm this, or I'm that, I have this, that, or other. That doesn't mean he didn't provide provision. That is not there. It is there. It is learning how to surrender to him and tap into it. So what was on my mind when I came and sat down to do this video was the excuse me, the horror of what's going on in organized religion today. I'm not going to really call it the church because the church wouldn't do these things. There's a lot of people that are imposters. They're saying that they are ministers and pastors and, so forth and so on. And they serve God and they are this and prophets and so, and they are no such thing. Majority of them are warlocks and witches. That's male and female witches. Witches is a witch. And the agenda is greed, selfishness, disgust is what it is. Besides being all an out abomination and sin. So, but with the young lady that, bravo to her, that called these churches to see how the response would be. See, your sins will surely find you out. And people wanted to, these pastors that got caught are trying to make her the bad person. And say, what kind of person would do something like that? You know what? That devil that you actually serving, he will always show you up. Because he doesn't have anything in him but evil and to kill, steal, and destroy. So if you're serving someone that would throw you under the bus at any time, but that was your choice. That was your choice as a pastor or minister or organization, religious organization. How is it that you can hear a baby crying and you turn away? And its mother is saying, the child is hungry and I don't have any formula for him or her. And it is amazing how these people turned them down. Lakewood Church was one of the ones that was just on there I was just listening to. And that when the call went through to the office, now they're going to try to say, oh, well, the receptionist just didn't know. No, she was following protocol, what she's either volunteering or hired to do. And no compassion is being preached. And even if the words are being said, there's no Spirit of God behind them. That they would fall in line with, if someone calls in an urgent, desperate situation, oh, well, we just need to train them different. No. That's not the first time that they have bailed out on helping people. They shut their doors when there was was it Katrina or big flood or whatever that went on. So, and then they wanted to come out and stack up with diapers and we know the spirit that you worship. You've already put up the Baphomet in pictures and what have you. Oh, that's our school. Stay away from the appearance of evil. What happened to that? So, fill out a form and it'll be weeks if you get accepted. Oh, the baby is supposed to wait for weeks to eat. And these other pastors, well, if you're not a member here, we can't help you. I had someone tell me that. It wasn't about baby formula, but disgusting people. And I mean, it is situations like this that really let you know what the foundation of this church is, these places that they call churches are really about. If the folks are really saved. You can't help everybody all the time. I know that. We cannot, one person or one organization can't feed the world or whatever. But when God brings somebody before you, what is this? If you can't get a can of formula for a baby, oh my God, the surprise you're going to get on the judgment. Then there was a gentleman that came on and he said, a black gentleman, and he said, when I heard about this, he said, I got up and I went out on the street corner where the drug dealers hang out. And I said, listen, guys, man, whatever the talk slang was. This woman is on here talking about her baby just needs a can of milk. And nobody's, giving her any money to get her some milk. He said all 7 of these crack dealers went in their pocket. He said from the youngest to the oldest, went in their pockets and said, oh, we can't have a baby not eating. We got to feed the baby. Now, that doesn't make them saints or anything like that. Seriously? The churches are shutting down a mother in need for her child to eat. And the crackhead on the corner. That's the reason why when they come in to the Lord, they come in and they just override the people that's been sitting there, following tradition, following one another in their cliques, doing their, and that's why these drug dealers and people in the street and what have you in the world don't want to come into the church anymore. No power, all fake, phony, witchcraft, and so forth and so on. The world is so busy, the church is so busy trying to be like the world. We can't even help the world. We can't bring them in. Because we're too busy trying to be like them, get their approval instead of God's. First of all, you mothers need to start breastfeeding your babies if you can. Now, I know there are some medical situations where you can't. And I know breastfeeding is not an easy, it is not easy to do. Some people have it harder than others. It doesn't have anything to do with breast size or anything like that. It is just there's so much involved in, even though it's a natural response to supposed to be, God provided it, but we're in a fallen world here. A lot of things going on with our bodies, things that we're eating, things that they're giving us, things we're breathing, and then just the mentality. The unfortunate thing is, it's going to sound really graphic and a little harsh, but it's the real truth. You'll let some significant other have your breast, but you don't want to feed your baby with one that's supposedly one of the most nourishing, free provided immune boosters given by God to the human body, to the woman for provision, food for the child. Kids, in the old days, some of the time them kids be with teeth and walking around and nursing. But, everything, mankind always takes everything to a bit of an extreme, but that new milk, it's called colostrum, first couple of weeks after birth, is supposed to be the most nutritious food for the child out of your breast. Even after that couple weeks or whatever that colostrum span is, been a long time for me, it's the most nutritious. Kick that baby's immune system into strength. Now, I tried nursing all of my kids. I knew that it was the best thing. God gave it to us. And it was, no matter, let me tell you something. I cried many tears, many days. Woo! Let me tell you, trying to nurse them kids. It was, oh my God. I can remember the first time, my first baby. And I wanted to do this because I knew it was the most natural, most healthiest. I want to give them my children the best start they could have in life. And besides the fact your body has been raked over the coals, so you've been hit with a Mack truck for real. I mean, you got a 2-week cycle going on. Your monthly cycle comes after this birth of this baby is 2 weeks. Besides being stitched up, some women have it way worse than others. You've been through whatever. This particular child, that first one was 39 hours of labor. I mean, real labor. when in the medical field, like, who would leave you in labor for 39 hours in this day and age, and blah, blah, blah. Because I wanted natural childbirth, even though it got so bad that I went on and took the, not epidural, it's the first one, but they got needles about this long that they inject inside of your, and hit these places inside to numb you, things women go through, let me tell you. And how kids don't, well, I didn't ask to be here. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Anyway. And this doctor knew I wasn't in any, medical danger. My physical body was I was doing great as far as heart, blood pressure, and everything was doing well. And I had took my Lamaze classes and all that. This wasn't supposed to turn into this, but and I was excited about, having this baby and doing all this, And it took forever for this child to get here. You're talking about something grueling. But I did my breathing techniques and what have you. And this doctor he was, for me being an African American person, anyway, I don't want to get into a whole lot because they're causing the death of women today, Black women, and are letting them die, neglect, and purposely, really. And so he let me go on and go through what it was, the process. I did not want a C-section. And so natural childbirth it was. And when this child decided to come, I mean, it was like it was, first it was all just lingering around. But see, they had let me get up, walk around. They were afraid to let me get up because my water had already broken. They didn't want the umbilical cord to drop out and be strangled and the blood flow with the baby and blah, blah, blah. So, there you go. So we 39 hours and finally she's here, and just my heart today, even emotional when I think about it. But get her home, trying to feed her, nurse her every 2 hours. Whoo, that hurt so bad. Let me tell you, I cried tears and prayed, Lord. Oh, help me, Lord, because just the memory of the pain that was getting ready to happen when it was time to feed her, it was hard to bear, but I knew I gotta feed my baby. I had formula, but I wanted the best for her. That hurt so bad, I am telling you. But I fed her anyway. So that lasted, I don't know, maybe a month. It let up, the pain let up a little bit, but it still was painful. I don't know why it was so terribly painful. I did everything they said do, everything. And so, and I didn't believe in taking any medicine and trying to take, pain pills or anything like that. It was because I didn't want anything to hurt her. So, ladies, feed your babies out of your breasts. That's what they're there for. Believe it or not. Society has turned and turned this thing around. So that's what they are there for. I don't care what size they are or whatever. God has provided a letdown of milk to come at the drop of that baby's whining. and once you start nursing, time-wise, your body just kicks in. I mean, the body is this magnificent miracle that God, mm, mm, mm. You if you just think about him, if you just think about him, whew, I don't know how you can't worship him. We take everything. The world, I know Satan through the world system has dehumanized human beings. They've lied and told women it's just a bunch of sales, but I'm so grateful to God that even in that, he had provision. And he grabbed those little souls and took them with him. And each one of them were rescued by him, living in him. He's so good. We miss him. See, we miss the provision and how it works. And we think that he doesn't care. But he loves us so much and he cares so much. He made provision of every type. Jesus created food when he came here. He multiplied little to thousands and thousands of people eating. And then it was no food. They don't ad lib on how he took when they said that we don't have anything. And he's steady telling them, where's your faith? Have I not been with you and showing you? He said, you feed them. And they're like, what? Well, how we gonna feed them? We only have this little bit of money and we are so many miles away. We can't get there and get back here and feed anybody. It's gonna take a day or two to get where we can get some food. Listen, he provided food. I didn't plan for all this to affect me. To even be talking about it, let alone affect me. Even in the Old Testament, he flew in quails when they complained they didn't have meat. He brought bread, rained it out the sky. There are prophets that were doing work for him. He sent birds in with food to feed them. Listen. He's so good. He's so awesome and wonderful. He has provided and made provision for us that we lack nothing. So let's start trusting him. Let's surrender to him and give our lives totally over to him. Seek him out. Jesus even shared his glory with us, his honor, his throne. Listen, what more do you want? And even if you didn't get anything, that's just the fact that I could be his and I can spend eternity with him. Ooh, that is that's greater than anything else this world can really truly offer. Nobody wants to live here and suffer. I get that. I don't want to either. But let me tell you something. No matter what, I gotta be there. I gotta get there. I'm already in him, living in him, and him and me. But when I drop this old piece of, this, when I step out of this temple into that temple all the way, the resurrected body, that's the reason why I don't grieve when saints go. You get people you love, you don't want them to leave you on the earth or whatever, but listen, it's best for you to celebrate them. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad that they made it in. And that they're in a place where they can't be touched by Satan anymore. They're resting and they're in a peace that we can't even imagine here on earth, even though we get a peace here that surpasses all understanding that we have here on this earth. It is greater than that. So if you've lost someone, they're not lost. If they were born again. That's why it's important to be born again. It's up to you to do it. Just ask. Just surrender and give him your entire life, that he is your one and true and only living God. And he'll help you through the rest, the yearns and the urges and all the things you think that, you got to have and do and all that, and, that you do, and that are sins. And he said they're sins. And you think you can't quit them. He can help you take care of that. Your most important step is to surrender it, regardless if you think you can stop it or not. And he'll be patient with you to help you through it. But you must be surrendered to that fight, to do whatever it takes to be free. And I'm almost speechless because his presence is on me, for one thing, and in me always, but it's, amplified right now. And it's just hard to talk. And I don't want to just sit here and just be, the joy kicks in. It is your strength. Woo! See, during this time, Satan is real busy. He's trying to take people's joy left and right. Listen, we have got to stop thinking that our government is our source. You got to have faith in Jesus, because look how they let us down. As far as I'm gonna stop right here because I'm out of time. And I'm wrecked, as they say right now. And so I'll be back and we will talk more and bask in his presence. See you next time. Love you. Bye-bye.